Hi everyone, I'm so excited to see you here for today's live conversation with our special guest, Marina Beech, the Soul Alchemist. Hi Marina, how are you today?
Hi, Ramonda. I'm amazing, thank you. And hello, listeners. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good. I'm excited today because today we're talking about something unique. And today's conversation is about unlocking your potential through your soul's purpose using Akashic Records. If you're not familiar with Akashic Records, today's conversation with Marina is going to enlighten you. And today is really a powerful fifth dimensional conversation with our intuitive soul alchemist, Marina Beech. So she's a powerful spiritual intuitive teacher, author, and a founder of the Akashic Code Training Academy, who uses the Akashic Records and pendulum to support her clients discover their divine gifts and soul's identity. So Marina mainly supports female entrepreneurs, impact leaders, and creatives to reconnect to their divine soul's gifts and clear past life karmic blocks, empowering them to experience deep transformational life and business breakthroughs. So Marina, welcome to today's live conversation.
Yay! Thank you for having me here, Ramonda.
So tell me a little bit more about yourself, your journey. How did you end up doing what you're doing today?
Okay, so yeah, it's been a bit of a journey. So my background actually is retail, very corporate. I was in retail for 30 years. I always had a bit of an interest in the alternative or the occult, or the kind of the weird and the wacky, I suppose. And so I was very interested in like ghosts and those types of kind of topics, but I didn't really kind of do this as a living or anything like that. I did start to read tarot cards when I was in my teens, and that's something that I've kind of done in the background. But my spiritual awakening really came around 5.5, 6 years ago when I went through a number of redundancies from my corporate career. And it was kind of like, came to this crossroads of, okay, well, what am I here to do if I can't get back into this industry that I loved? And I was really at the top of my career in terms of what I did. And so I went this kind of on this journey to kind of discover a little bit more about what I wanted to do, what my soul's purpose was going to be if it wasn't related to career. And I kind of did quite a lot of soul searching and really testing, testing where I could get my answers from, how I could seek this understanding. And so it led me to discover angels, and I'm not religious, but I kind of found a lot of solace with angels and healing and looking at energy healing and things like that. And eventually I found myself at a place where I was on a Facebook Live, watching this lady that was answering a question for me that I'd submitted the day before. And this was kind of like a cafe group event, healing event with lots of different people. And I thought maybe she's going to give me some information around my soul's purpose. So it was kind of like, okay, I want to know what my master program is. Not really understanding what that was, but I thought this is going to give me some guidance. And she actually revealed to me that I got a master program of alcoholism. Now, what I hadn't revealed to even my husband at the time, my husband and anybody in my family, was that I had a psychological addiction to alcohol. I'd got my physical intake down to very, very low amounts, but I could not switch the kind of impulse, the urge, the desire. I could not stop thinking about not wanting to have a drink. And she revealed this in my Akashic Records, and I hadn't heard of what the Akashic Records were. I had no clue. And within 10 seconds, she span the pendulum and she cleared that from my Akashic Records. And this switch of this psychological addiction, this kind of mental thing that I had, this battle, just completely disappeared, like within 10 seconds. And it was like, oh my God, I need to understand what the Akashic Records are. But it was kind of like, it was just this defining kind of breakthrough that I kind of had on this Facebook Live. And obviously she couldn't see me. And that kind of then led me on this whole journey to understand what the Akashic Records were and how I could also support others, maybe in not such a profound way, but to support others with having breakthroughs in their life and within their business. So that's how I ended up discovering the Akashic Records and really kind of going all in into this work, because my ego needed something really big for me to believe. And yeah, boy, did I get that.
Wow. And I want to ask our audience, whether you're watching this live right now or on replay, have you ever heard Akashic Records? Because for me, when we met with Marina, and Marina is one of our speakers for the Women Thrive Summit, so as we were going through the interview process of interviewing speakers, and we were looking for something really unique, and when I met Marina and she started to share her story and what she does, it really fascinated me. So I was keen to actually find out what Akashic Records are, how do you use it, and just observing how you work and what you're doing has been quite insightful. So take me a little bit more behind the scenes of what is Akashic Records, how does it work, and yeah, just a little bit behind the scenes of your work and what you do.
Yeah, sure. So the Akashic Records, just for those that maybe are thinking like, what are they? They're an etheric database. So if you can imagine an etheric database of like Google for the soul, that's basically what the Akashic Records are. And they're not like a new aged kind of concept. They're mentioned in the Bible. They're known culturally all around the world. And they basically record all information on every single soul's journey. So all of the lifetimes that you've had, all of the choices and consequences that you've experienced, the relationships, the trauma, the wounding, it's all recorded in the Akashic Records. And the simplest way to visualize the Akashic Records, because they're not physical, they're etheric, is as a library, which is why I've got this library behind me, and every single book would be representative of a lifetime. And so you would open up your book and you're able to dive into each of the lifetimes that you've had, if it's relevant, and get information about your soul's journey, about the gifts and the wisdom and the mastery that you've kind of been able to master, the blocks and the restrictions, the repeat karmic patterns. All of this is held in your Akashic Records, and every single person has an Akashic Record. And our homes have Akashic Records, our businesses have Akashic Records, pets, countries, the planet has our own Akashic Records. So it's all recorded in the ether, in the fifth dimension and beyond. And I'm able to connect with the Akashic Records. And there's various ways that you can actually connect with them, but it's mainly about intent and believing that you can access the Akashic Records. That is your most potent tip that I can give to you, is to have an intention to go into the Akashic Records, because if you don't, you could just wander aimlessly. It's a bit like going to the supermarkets just for a browse around the food, or the kind of the different departments in a supermarket, and not really knowing what you want. And you could be there for hours, not really kind of just, meandering around. And really you want to go with a purpose, that I need to go and get these bits and pieces from the supermarket. I can go in, I can find them, and I can come out. And that's how you really want to use the Akashic Records. But it's your intention and a certain process that gets you in there.
Yeah. What is the purpose behind going into your own Akashic Records?
Okay, well, for me, it was to really understand myself at a deeper level. And it's like a shortcut to being able to do that. So we could spend, for me, the alcoholic addiction kind of, this master program wasn't from this lifetime. It came from a past lifetime, which I've kind of carried through. And so I would have had more of a tendency to be addicted to alcohol, because this master program had been created at some point in my past life. And so when we can start to understand these repeat patterns of behavior, or limiting beliefs, or self-sabotage, or how we, for some reason, attract certain types of relationships, if we can get a greater understanding of why that is, and get this soul awareness and this consciousness of our choices and why these things are being attracted into our experience, then that's wisdom, that's knowledge. And then we've got then a reason or an understanding of how to do something about that, and kind of create the change and the transformation in this lifetime. So it's such a potent, powerful tool to understand yourself at a deeper level. I'm kind of like, why wouldn't you want to use the Akashic Records? Because they're available to everybody. Everybody has a divine right to connect to their Akashic Records. They just need to understand how to do it and believe that they can do it. But we are at a certain consciousness now as a planet, as humanity, to be able to access these records. Because before then, it would only be really highly conscious people like prophets and saints that were able to access them. But now, you know, we can all access them.
I think it comes with a certain level of personal development and personal growth, soul growth as well, as we go through our life. So we're talking about the potential of unlocking your soul's purpose using Akashic Records. Do you believe that a soul's purpose is already written for us, or is in the destiny of ours? And how can one unlock their soul's purpose through Akashic Records?
It's an interesting question, because I know that there's a lot of people have different opinions about this. From my perspective, I think there's a certain element of where we do have a natural soul gift and abilities which we can enhance with our purpose. Absolutely. For me, the main purpose for a soul is to come back to self-love, because from that point we are clearing, we are elevating our own journey, we are supporting others, but we have to support ourselves first. So for me, that's one of the main purposes that we come here to experience the human form as a soul, is to learn how to unconditionally love. Another one is to kind of really complete our growth lessons, our spiritual lessons, our karmic lessons, which have loads of. So that's another purpose, and that's where some of our repeat patterns come over, because we are just not learning that growth lesson, so we keep doing it over and over. But as I say, I do feel that some of us, all of us, do have natural abilities. We do have soul gifts, but whether we choose to actually use that soul gift or actually see it and actually realize that that is a gift, which quite often it just feels like it's a natural thing and it doesn't feel very special. Actually, that's a soul gift. Whether we want to use that as a purpose, I think that's an individual choice. So I think there is definitely purposes that we can choose, and there are purposes that we are here to do as a soul within a human form. As for destiny, I'm kind of on the fence around destiny, because to me it feels like that we have free will, and that's the beauty of being like a soul in a human body on this planet, is because we have free will, and that is just like, it's so amazing that we have free will. And so if something is predestined and preordained, to me that kind of feels like our free will has been taken away. So I'm a kind of a little bit schools out on that kind of concept. And with the Akashic Records, we don't tell the future with the Akashic Records, because there's too many variables on your future outcome, because in any given moment we can make a choice to do this instead of that. So then we've taken ourselves on a different trajectory, which will bring a different outcome. So the Akashic Record will hold all of the possibilities of all of the choices that you could possibly make, and it just leads you on that path. So I don't know if I answered the question there. I'm just giving my opinion.
That's okay. That's all right. I think that's why it's almost a fifth dimensional conversation we're having here, because there's nothing you know for certain, because it's not there for discovery.
That's it. And I think the most enlightening thing that we can do is how we approach our life and approach our choices and our decisions. And if we can become conscious of that and the vibration and the energy that we bring to that, then that's where the true transformation, and that's where the true kind of like the wishes and the dreams and all of that gets fulfilled. Now, of course, we can get pulled away from feeling or being in that energy and thinking in that way, because we have life going on around us, which quite often, you know, pulls us away from stepping into that. But if we can kind of keep coming back to, okay, I'm in charge of, you know, my destiny, I'm in charge of my choices, how can I approach this? How can I be really intentional and really put that energy of whatever it is that you want to experience into your life and the things that you do, then you're gonna create an amazing life. You absolutely are. But as humans, we're not really kind of programmed to do that. So it's a kind of rewiring, and it's a very conscious thing that we have to keep reminding ourselves of.
Beautiful, beautiful share. Thank you so much, Marina. And I see some of you watching this right now. Please leave a comment. Let us know where you're joining us from. If you have had any experience with Akashic Records before, or just your soul's journey, really. Do you feel like you have found your soul's purpose? Is it something you're still actively seeking to find out? I know, and that's not something, you know, I'm excited to share, but I know there's a lot of people who are going through a lot of suffering, a lot of pain, and, you know, challenges. Life can feel a struggle sometimes, and life can feel a bit of a challenge right now. And I'm enjoying this conversation because I know there's more to life. There's more to our purpose. There's more to our journey. But a lot of the times, life can distract us.
Mm-hmm.
How can people support themselves, or how can we support others through those difficult times in today's world?
This is where it comes back to the unconditional love. And really, the more we drop into our heart space and come from a place of what would love do, and have compassion and empathy, but not to the point where we want to take responsibility for that person's results, or we really want to jump in and fix and heal. We can just hold space. We can guide and advise if somebody needs that, and just, you know, support each other from that perspective. But I still will come back to how are we supporting ourselves first? Are we showing ourselves kindness and gratitude and all of that? Because if we can start to do that more effectively with ourselves, then the ripple effect is that other people feel that. Other people pick up on how energetically that person is kind of coping or changing, and that models a new way of being that then other people just start to unconsciously or subconsciously pick up on. And it, as I say, it has that kind of ripple effect out. But if we're kind of giving ourselves a hard time and we're complaining and we can't find gratitude in anything that we have in our life, and we judge and all of that, then that's just going to be reflected back in our 3D, in our experience. We're going to have people all around us that will be in that same, you know, in that same vibration as well. And so nobody's lifting each other up. So it really needs to start with us. And from that place, we can give more effectively to ourselves, but also to others. So I think that's what I found in the spiritual communities. There's so many people just starting to really wake up and or just not happy with how their life is, or how society and all of that, and starting to realize there's got to be more to my life, there's got to be more to my experience than what I'm actually having. How can I change that? And I think just asking yourselves questions like that, and truly asking, you know, am I, the information that I'm given in social media and news and things like that, is it the truth? Or is there something feeling a little bit off about this? And once we start to really ask those questions, we can start to break free some of the stuff that is out in the collective, which isn't helping how people are feeling and the experiences that they're going through. There's a lot of collective fear energy out there, and it's purposely being put there in order to keep people stuck and where they are.
Yeah, and I see that a lot. And as much as we try to elevate and go to that next level or be happy, in the real world, there are constant reminders and barriers for us to keep growing or keep
Mm-hmm.
advancing and being self-aware, because then the real life throws the bills or the chaos in our world that makes us, hold on, okay, I'm dealing with the real world. It's like I'm being constantly distracted from my soul's purpose and my work that I should be doing, because really, if we are here as souls and as individuals to do our inner work and our greater work, sometimes what society expects us
Mm-hmm.
isn't the thing that we should be doing, which is we'll maintain our bills, we'll maintain our social status, and all of those things. Sometimes, as you pursued, Marina, your career for a long time before you said, you know what, this is my soul's work and this is what I need to do.
Yeah, yeah, and we also have to understand as well that it isn't all about rainbows and light and unicorns and all of that, because we're here having a human experience, and it is all about polarity and duality. So we have to really experience the lows in order to appreciate the highs. And the soul has come for the fullness and the richness of a human experience. And so that is going to be all of the rubbish and the crap and all of that, as well as all of the amazing kind of beautiful stuff as well. So I think sometimes we also have to have that kind of like, okay, well, I know that I need to experience some of the low stuff, because it's part of the appreciation of the high, but it's also perhaps part of my growth lesson as well. So it's also kind of reminding ourselves. But if you find that you're continually in the lower vibrations and the energies, then it's really looking at where you're giving your power away and how you can claim that back. Because when you're kind of in a constant low like that, then there will be a lot of victim kind of stuff going on there, and it's really like getting real with yourself. And I think kind of, how can I make one small change to change my circumstances and bring my power back, and not rely on other people maybe to lift me up, or whatever it might be for that individual person. So it depends, but I mean, that's generally my view around that.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And if anyone has any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I see something just come through. But before we answer any questions, I know, Marina, you are one of our VIP speakers for the Women Thrive Summit, which is happening in March, which is our annual Women Empowerment event. Tell us a little bit more about the talk that you have prepared for us during the summit.
Okay, so I'm really excited. So this is going to be the 3 steps to business success using your Akashic Records. So we're going to be really looking at acknowledging where you're at and kind of what the challenge is, what your issue is within your business. We're going to be doing activation. This is kind of the 2nd step. So looking at what can be healed. Also, if there's any wisdom or guidance from your guides. And then the 3rd step is really looking at your alignment. What physical action are you going to take after the summit? So I'm going to be taking you on this journey of, and it's going to be practical as well. So we're not just sitting there and receiving. I'm going to get you involved. So you're going to be really doing a bit of self-reflection, a little bit of kind of light shadow work. Then you're going to go into your Akashic Records and experience them for yourself and connecting with your own guides, because I would like you to maybe try this and continue the practice after, and really get to know your business guides, because we do have business guides in the Akashic Records. And then I'll give you a little bit of time to think about maybe what the aligned actions are for kind of post the session. So that's just a little bit of the kind of the in-depth of the talk that I'm going to be doing, and kind of the journey that you're going to be going on. But yeah, I want you to experience the Akashic Records for yourself, so I'm going to be taking you in there.
Wow, that's so exciting. I'm really excited because, this concept of Akashic Records can be, for someone who has never heard or never practiced, could be quite hard to grasp. But hearing that you can make it really practical and accessible to all makes it really exciting, because I say, there's a lot of healing, there's a lot of lessons and things we can learn from and take away in order to apply to ourselves and our businesses. And I always say, I feel like business really exposes us in our own personal development journey. And everything, all the healing has to come up and all this experience. It's like the biggest personal development journey that we could ever go on. So it's intertwined.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you said that, because I tell that to my clients as well. I said, if you're doing a business, it's the biggest personal development journey that you will ever go on, because it highlights all of your limiting beliefs and your fears and lack of self-confidence and comparinitis and worth and deservability. It highlights it all. So using the Akashic Records to support you with releasing some of that, but also being able to empower yourself with your journey after that. It's an amazing tool to use in conjunction with your business.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are so many ways, obviously, to go on this journey and learn and grow through it. But this is something that really makes me feel excited and quite accessible as well. So thank you so much, Marina. If someone wanted to get in touch with you, what's the best way? And maybe there are things that you're doing that maybe people can get involved in order to learn a little bit more about Akashic Records and sort of this spiritual journey.
Yeah, sure. So if you're finding me on social, it's Marina the Soul Alchemist, and my website is marinabeech.co.uk. If you wanted to have a little connection with your own Akashic Records, then go to my YouTube channel, which is Marina the Soul Alchemist, and I have a whole playlist of meditations, Akashic meditations and journeys, which are all free, which cover a whole range of topics, whether it be money or self-confidence or chakra clearing. There's all sorts of things on there, and that will just give you a really beautiful taster of what it's like to go in your Akashic Records. But you'll be doing some healing and activation as well. So check out my YouTube channel. That would be a good place to start.
Amazing. And I know you do regular workshops as well.
Yeah, do a workshop. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, Marina, thank you so much for your time today. We just ran out of time. So if there is something that you wanted to ask or you feel inspired by today's conversation, please connect with Marina directly through her website or social media channels, as well as make sure you register for waitlist or our ticket for the Women Thrive Summit. So Women Thrive Summit is our annual women empowerment event. This year we have more than 37 amazing speakers from all around the world, and we are covering things on empowerment, leadership, social media, visibility, spiritual growth and healing, and just so much support that is available for you. You'll meet ladies like Marina, who has been doing amazing work and have many years of experience, not only in business, but their own area of expertise. And there's so much to take away from this particular event that we have curated for you. So do make sure you head over to womenthrivesummit.com, register for your spot, and you'll get to connect with Marina during the summit, as well as many other amazing people. Thanks so much for our conversation today, Marina. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me. It was wonderful to share a little bit more about the Akashic Records.
I'm excited for those who are willing to learn and really embrace this journey.
Oh my God, yeah, absolutely. You won't regret it.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much all for listening. If you have got to this far, please make sure you share this live with others or tag someone in this video and leave a comment. Let us know where you've been watching us from. Look forward to seeing you again on another live. And for now, take care and have a beautiful day. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.